Okay, guys. Don't mind me. I'm a little peeved off right now. I'm pretty mad right now. So I just spent the last 2.5 hours trying to get this to work. You might notice that you might be one of those people who are, watching and waiting. And so here's the deal. I can only do live stream in Google Hangouts because, well, I'll tell you because in just a second. I can only do live stream in Google Hangouts, which is what I'm doing right now. The thing is with Google Hangouts, I can't find a way to access the chat when I use Google Hangouts. I don't know of a way to use the chat when I use Google Hangouts. So I've been trying to get that working, the chat working. So I finally figured it out, and I have to use an encoder in order to get the chat working. So I downloaded, what's it called? I downloaded 2 encoders. I downloaded OBS, Open Broadcasting System, I think it is. And then the other one is XSplit. And I couldn't get either of them to work. I, messed with them and everything, and I tried to get them to work. I couldn't get them to work. So I think what the problem is my laptop it's not a good laptop. It's sort of a piece of shit. So I think that's what the problem is I don't have the laptop that's necessary to process it. It was telling me on both encoders that I was using, both XSplit and OBS, that there wasn't any video, or there wasn't enough video feed to continue, and that it was a really, really bad low latency video feed. So I tried to fix that and everything. I couldn't fix that. Basically, I'm to the point where I'm like at my wit's end, and I just want to, yell, cry, scream, throw stuff, and that's where I'm at the moment. So anyway. So instead of not doing any video at all, I decided to do a Google Hangouts video. And even though I can't see the chat, and I'm so sorry if people are chatting at me right now, I can't see you guys. This way, at least with Google Hangouts, I could give you some kind of live stream while I figure out what to do. Because I think the answer to the solution is I have to buy a new laptop, and an expensive laptop, which really sucks because I don't exactly have the money for it right now. So, yeah, I'm just trying to get all that figured out and everything. So anyway, without further ado, there's my ranting and complaining and all my BS and everything that I've been dealing with it for the past few hours. And if you know anything about live streaming or, any of this stuff, feel free to email me at heather@vegas-aces.com, and we could try to figure this out together. But like I said, I think I need to use an encoder in order to be able to use the live stream. And I can't use the encoder because my software, my laptop doesn't have good enough. My laptop doesn't have good enough hardware to run the software, I think, or the encoder. That's what I've learned today. Okay, so anyway, I have a couple questions. Actually, I have 2 questions on here that people asked. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the comments section or go to Facebook and Twitter. You could put your questions on there, and then that way I'll have questions that I could start off with while everyone's getting in. And again, once I get a new laptop and I have the chat working and I can see what you guys are writing, I'll answer your questions from the chat too. The whole point of this YouTube live stream thing is to interact with you guys. So I always feel really, really bad when I can't interact with you guys. It's like the whole point of this. So anyway, so Wolfgar asked, it's been a while since I've played Let It Ride. You mentioned a bonus bet a couple of times. Is it linked to a progressive jackpot that grows each time a straight flush or a royal flush is missed? I remember Caribbean Stud used to do that kind of thing. So on Let It Ride, there is not a progressive jackpot or anything. All of the payout amounts are on the table, on the layout. The royal flush pays 1,000 to 1, and that pays on these 3 main bets. And then if you have a bonus payout, which is this section right here, if you have $1 on that, then you would get paid out 20,000 for a royal flush. So 1,000 to 1 for a royal flush on each of these spots, depending on if you have a bet up or not. And then for the bonus spot, it would be 20,000. And these are set prices. These are set amounts. So it's not a progressive jackpot where it raises or lowers, or it's a different amount every time. So these are already set, predetermined, and on the table, and you know exactly what you're going to win if you hit them. And then Greg asked, is there a qualifying hand, like a queen? On letter right, there's no qualifying hand. It's not like 3-card poker or anything where you have a qualifying hand for the dealer's hand. There is actually no dealer's hand on this game. So the two places right here are basically community cards. So whatever cards are on these two spots right here, the whole table can use them. So it's not like you have a dealer's hand and the dealer qualifies. So there is no qualifying hand on that. Basically, the only way that you win is if the player gets a pair of 10s or higher. So it really depends on what the player has. And the player uses his 3 cards plus my 2 community cards to get his best 5-card hand. And then the other question that I had is, when do you do the live streams? So I've been trying to do these live streams every other Thursday, and I haven't figured out a time yet. In fact, the past few Thursdays that I've been doing this, I've been trying to figure out the chat. So basically, I don't have a set time for the chat. If you guys want to see me do these chats at a certain time, go ahead and after the video is done, write it in the comments section below, the comment section that I can actually see, not the comment section that you guys are probably writing in right now and I can't see any of it. So anyway, yeah, write that in there. Those are all the questions I had. Again, I really wish I could use the chat. I think I'm going to have to buy a new laptop, so totally blows. I'm going to try to figure it out tonight, see what I could do. But I didn't want to not have a live stream for you guys, so that's why I'm doing this. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I apologize that this week's live stream was sort of crappy. And I will try to fix this problem and get the chat working and hopefully get all this working. So I will see you guys later. And thank you for being patient. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night.